All right, today we're going to explore something pretty wild. We're going to see how a simple Lego brick, a tiny speck of gold, and the massive concept of justice are all connected. It's a journey that starts deep, deep inside the brain, and believe me, it ends with a question that could totally redefine our future. So let's just put it out there. What do Legos, gold, and justice have in common? I know, it sounds like the setup to a really strange joke, but stick with me because by the end of this, you'll see exactly how they all link up through a truly groundbreaking discovery. So, our story kicks off deep inside the most complex thing we know of, the brain. We're heading to a crucial spot that our source material beautifully calls the black core. Now, the black core isn't just a cool name for a sci-fi movie. It's a real place. It's called the Substantia Nigra. And you can think of it as a vital control room for how we move and how we make decisions. And true to its name, it is actually physically dark in color. How cool is that? And it's in this black core that your brain creates one of its most important little tools, dopamine. For our purposes, let's imagine it's the essential Lego connector piece. This little molecule, or dopamine in Chinese, is what makes everything else just click together. It helps you move smoothly, think clearly, and as we'll see, maybe even act fairly. But, every good story has to have a villain. And inside our brain's control room, the big problem is a buildup of something the source, well, it colorfully calls it sticky gunk. And this isn't just any old gunk, of course. Scientifically, we're talking about something called alpha-synuclein aggregates. The stuff is nasty. It builds up right there in the black core, and it starts destroying the hard-working builders. Those are the neurons that make our dopamine connector pieces. And when that happens, the whole system just starts to break down. It forgets how to work the right way. But this is where this story gets really hopeful, because scientists have come up with what our source calls a Lego repair kit. So let's take a look at how this thing actually works. So this amazing repair kit, developed by Chinese scientists, is this brilliant two-step process. First, you send in the cleanup crew. And second, you start something called the wireless warm-up. And this is where it gets really, really clever. Okay, step one is all about cleaning house. The cleanup crew is made of these microscopic smart bricks, which are actually gold nanoparticles. And they're carrying a special helper molecule. Their whole mission is to get in there, find all that sticky gunk, and just break it all down, clearing the path for the real repairs to begin. Then comes part two, the wireless warm-up. This uses a special, totally non-invasive light to gently heat up those smart bricks that are already in place. And this warmth, it's like a gentle nudge. It wakes up the sleepy builders, those remaining dopamine neurons, and basically encourages them to get back to work, making those vital connector pieces again. Okay, that Lego metaphor is fantastic, right? It really helps you get your head around the idea. But now let's pull back the curtain and unpack the real science behind this incredible repair kit. So here's the translation. The black core is the Substantia Nigra. The connector piece is, of course, dopamine. That sticky gunk is alpha-synuclein aggregates. And those smart bricks and the wireless warm-up, well, that's actually gold nanoparticles being stimulated by near-infrared light. See? It all just clicks right into place. So the first part of this therapy has a name, structural restoration. This is literally the cleanup job. It's using those gold nanoparticles to clear out the toxic proteins that are physically gumming up the works and damaging the system. And the second action is called functional activation. Now, this isn't about creating brand new neurons. It's about waking up the ones that are still there but have gone dormant. The near-infrared light stimulates them, gets them to start producing dopamine again, and essentially brings the whole system back online. So what makes this whole thing such a game changer? Well, for starters, it's wireless. It doesn't require any invasive permanent implants. There's no genetic modification involved. The nanoparticles themselves are incredibly stable. And this whole two-part approach, it could potentially be used to treat a whole host of other neurodegenerative disorders. It's huge. All right, so we've gone from Legos to gold nanoparticles. But the implications here, they stretch way beyond just medicine. In fact, the source material makes this surprising, massive leap, connecting our newfound ability to repair the brain's machinery to the very foundations of justice itself. The bridge that connects these two worlds is the concept of autonomy, or Jilits. It's our capacity for rational self-determination. See, because the Substantia Nigra is so central to our dopamine-driven decision-making, its biological health is directly physically linked to our ability to make fair and rational choices. And this is where things get really provocative. The source proposes this radical thought experiment. What if we could use this technology as, and I'm quoting here, a biomedical method to assess or even enhance neurological and psychological fairness in justice administration? It's an incredibly bold idea, even speculating on how it might be used in a specific context, like Japan's justice system. Let's just break that down for a second. The core idea being floated is this. If the biological machinery we use for rational choice can be damaged, could repairing it, literally restoring the health of that black core, be a way to ensure fair policy enforcement? That's a direct line from the health of our neurons to the fairness of our society. This line of thinking, as you can imagine, leads us to a truly provocative future, one where science and ethics are not just related, but completely intertwined. The vision laid out here is this ambitious integration of neuroscience and ethics. It imagines a world where our deep understanding of the brain's mechanics doesn't just treat disease, but could actually be used to reinforce and enhance abstract concepts like fairness and societal order. It's a lot to think about. And that really leaves us with this one profound, lingering question. When we finally gain the power to repair the very mechanisms of choice and reason inside the human brain, where exactly do we draw the line? The line between therapy and enhancement? The line between healing an individual and engineering a society? Okay, let's dive into an incredible story about repairing the human brain. And like any good project, we have to start with the fundamentals of the structure. Our biggest challenge is right here, in the black core. It's ground zero for the damage. See, it produces dopamine. Think of it as a vital connector piece for the whole system. But when toxic protein bricks build up, that foundation starts to crumble. So how do you fix it? Well, let's start with a look at some traditional wisdom. For centuries, traditional Chinese medicine has used a natural compound called berberine. It basically acts as a natural dopamine booster. Just a simple strategy to increase supply. Okay, now let's jump forward to a revolutionary new blueprint from modern scientists. And this is where it gets really interesting. The goal isn't just patching, it's actual restoration. We're talking about a completely different logic, targeting the root cause, not just the symptoms. And the key to this new blueprint? Microscopic gold nanoparticles, our smart bricks. Here's the genius part. This system works on two fronts at the exact same time. It's an elegant three-step process. Inject, clean, and then stimulate with light. First up, the cleanup crew has to deal with all that toxic gunk destroying the structure. These smart bricks carry a special protein that just clears out the toxic mess. At the same time, it reawakens the dormant builder cells that have shut down. And the on switch is just a precise beam of light, activating them wirelessly. The result? A huge increase in the number of surviving dopamine neurons. And you see a massive drop in the toxic proteins that were causing all the damage. So what really makes this a true game changer? It's wireless, stable, and it doesn't need any permanent implants or genetic modification. This whole clean up and stimulate idea could be a blueprint for treating other brain diseases. It really makes you wonder, what other parts of the brain could we start to rebuild?